Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Storytime. Today's guest, I feel like I kind of have a love-hate relationship with this guy. Love because it's been so fun to watch him, but hate because he ended my soccer team's season. He's that talented, that incredible. It's Phoenix Rising Goalkeeper, Zac Lubin. I'm so excited to have him on the show. I've known him a couple years going back to my iHeart days. So I'm really excited for y'all to hear from him and about him, and enjoy the episode. All right, y'all, welcome back. I am here with Zac Lubin. Zac, how are you?
I'm doing good, thanks. Excited to be on. How about yourself?
I'm doing well. So I need you to prove something for me because you're still in Arizona, right?
I am.
Okay, so here in Reno, I try to tell people they don't know how good Arizona winters are. So it looks like you're wearing a t-shirt. Like, go ahead and tell me, I know you're from Montana. How great is a Phoenix December?
I am actually so excited. It was good timing for you to ask because this is going to be my first winter in Arizona. And to be honest, it's been so hard to be here for 3 years and deal with the summers, especially this summer. And then I would go to Chicago for the winter in the off season to live with my girlfriend, Brenna. So I'm very excited. I've been out this morning for a couple hours. I walked the dog, and then I got to run outside, and it's gorgeous. And then we'll just go back and play at the park this afternoon. Compared to when I'd be dealing with these winters in Chicago, it's negative 20 and wind chill, and it's been 70 degrees and sunny every day, and it's amazing. Actually, Brenna's sitting on the patio. She's working from home, just doing her work while I jumped on the interview. Tough sell to get her outside.
Right. That's good that Brenda's living with you now, because you go from the worst in the Arizona summers from it can get up to 120 degrees for everybody listening that hasn't been there in July and August. And it was extra hot this summer. I was there. I flew back the same morning you guys did after the August match when you were in Reno. And it was the couple day break from where it wasn't super hot. And then I left and it went back to 109.
And that was probably the weekend we got one of our only monsoons. And so when it's that hot, and this summer was relentless. And we got 2 monsoons this whole year, which kind of gives you that break from the heat. And one of them, both of them, I think we're basically gone. And I think one of them was we were in Reno, poured rain. We got back, and 2 days later, it's just hot again.
And when y'all were here, I was worried the match was going to get canceled because the smoke. So you didn't really get a break. You got a break from the heat, but then you play in smoke that almost made the match get canceled.
That was bad. And I have pretty bad allergies, and I got lit up when we came to Reno with the smoke. It was pretty bad. But we're talking about stories for 2 years. I loved it here during the summer. It was hot, but not that bad. I played in Sweden for 2 years. And I was so over the cold and dark. Arizona was my first choice to come. So I never complained about the heat, but this summer got to me. It was absolutely relentless. 50 over 110 was just brutal when the record was 19 and the average was 30 days. The average was 19, the record was 30. So, to just smash every heat record out of the book, I think I can boldly say that climate change is real. I know it is winter and it is getting colder in places, but that cold is still not as cold as it used to be. And I will go out on a limb and say it's real. We need to do something about it.
Definitely. And this is not how I intended on starting the episode, but now that we're on this weather rant. But I do want you to tell people also, just because you guys play, you have to train in the mornings in the summer because it gets insanely hot by 11 a.m. And then even at kickoff for a 7:30 match, it's still 100 plus. So how hard was it for you to just kind of get used to playing in an Arizona summer? And what advantage do you guys see when you get a team from Reno where it's, 90s is the high, or Tacoma or whoever it is that's not used to the heat.
Yeah. I feel it's funny. I don't feel bad, but I know just like walking out of the locker room when you're going to warm up for a game, like not only kickoff hot, but you go out for warm up, sun's still up, the sun's still kind of beating down on you. And I just laugh because I walk out being like, oof, it's hot. And I'm used to it. And so I just think about these other teams, what it must feel like. And I think you see that during the summer and stuff, like, we can be in close games, or, we could be down or whatever it is. And, you hit that 65th minute mark and these teams just cannot hang anymore in the heat. And I think you see it, going into the playoffs. What a difference. Teams can hang for 90, 120. But during that heat, I feel like teams don't even want to come out for the second half, because between 30 minutes of warm-up, 45-minute first half, they're done. But for me, it was actually kind of helpful to come to Phoenix compared to playing in the Midwest. I am a terrible sweater. And so when I was in humid, and I had it happen here a few times this year, when the previous years I hadn't really, I used to sweat when I was playing in Kansas City and Tulsa, 10, 11, 12 pounds a day. And I would just go home and feel like I'm sick and have the flu and
oh no,
couldn't even move because of the humidity. And so coming here in the dry, it's hot. And there was days where, my average over there would be 8 to 12 pounds. Here, the average was probably 5 to 6 pounds lost during a session. So it was actually really nice. It just said you kind of got to get used to the sun beating down on you. That's what really makes it hot. And we did a really good job this year with having shade tents. We lined the side of our field with a couple tents. We have water over there, a lot of breaks. So it's not so bad when you've kind of gotten used to it. And I would way rather be here than the humidity, as I'm sure everyone says. But it's not so bad. Golfing here, no big deal. Golfing in the Midwest, I could barely do. I couldn't even hold on to the club. I'd just be drenched.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, the dry heat definitely makes it somewhat okay. I know I've sweat my butt off so many times at Rising matches in the middle of the summer. But one thing that the league did add this year due to the COVID new protocol was the hydration breaks. So for you, are you somebody that is preaching, okay, let's do that every season now? Did it help a lot?
We do. We've had hydration breaks. They've just been, if the heat index, their little heat globe, is over 89 degrees or 90 degrees. Oh. So here we basically have always had those water breaks. But now they're just became mandatory everywhere.
Gotcha.
And they were always at that 30-minute and the 75th minute, depending on their little heat globe, because that measures wind, humidity, just heat. So it takes everything into account. And we'll tell you what the actual heat index is. So we're pretty used to that. But yeah, they're nice.
Awesome. Well, now let's go ahead and start talking back from the beginning. So you mentioned you're from Montana. Was soccer the first sport you played, or did you play a couple others? And then what made you really fall in love with the game and want to make a career out of it?
It was. I actually kind of started because of my sister. So I was born in Colorado in Steamboat Springs. And then we moved when I was 6 weeks old to Australia.
What?
Yeah. So I spent the first 4 years of my life in Australia, and I have an older sister. She's 3 years older, Sarah, and she started playing soccer. And it was basically whatever she did, I did. So, when she was learning to ride a bike without training wheels, I was like, no, I'm done with training wheels. When she was at soccer, I would go and I'd just be kicking around a ball on the side. Obviously not in practice. My parents were there, but so it's kind of whatever she did, I did. And so I picked up soccer, and then we lived in New Zealand for another year after that. So we moved to Montana when I was 5.
Okay.
And to be honest, if I was born in Montana, if we had just moved there right away, I definitely don't think I would have played, because it's not a popular sport in Montana at all. The level of coaching is not there, because you also just don't have people who've played at any decent level
Mm-hmm.
either. To get a coach who had played in college was almost impossible. There were a couple, but like, that's, you got to think, I'm also older. I'm 31. There wasn't academies, even really, in popular soccer areas. Like, there was good club teams, but academies weren't really a thing yet. So I like just grew up playing like youth AYSO soccer till I was like 13.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally started playing competitively. But yeah, to be honest, if I grew up in Montana, I don't think I would have played. I was made fun of in Montana for playing soccer. So, maybe if my sister had started playing in Montana, I maybe followed the same path. But to be in Australia, I really think that going to Australia and my sister starting there, and a lot more prominent for male athletes too, where I really took a lot of abuse in Montana, like very belittling.
Well, look who's laughing now.
Baseball players and basketball players, like, we were called all kinds of names. So I really don't think I would have been a soccer player had I just grown up in Montana.
Well, clearly it worked out for you. And in Australia, it was always on my bucket list to go. But I've always seen pictures of the giant, like, spiders and snakes. Is that actually a real thing, or is it just people trying to scare others away?
No, it's very real. Like, if you look at like the list of like the top most like venomous like snakes and spiders, like 30 of them are in Australia, from around the world. Yeah. And we, like, my parents have a lot more stories. I don't remember a ton, but I know we have like stories from, we had like a house cat. Well, not really a house cat, like outdoor cat. And it would kill snakes and like bring them into the house. And like, sometimes it wouldn't be dead. So we'll like our cat bring these snakes in the house. And my parents tell us a story about this like huge spider that would make a web like across our whole driveway. And you can't just like go stomp these things out. Like, like get like insect, like pest control to come get these like spiders that are this big, creating these massive webs across the driveway and stuff. And so like, I don't know if I have like, do not like spiders. I'm pretty scared of spiders. I think, don't like to get involved. And I think that's from Australia, but at the same time, I love snakes. Like, I was gonna be that person who owned a snake. I wanted one so bad. I was like, forever. I was like, I want to put on, like, I want an anaconda. That was like my favorite movie. We'd go camping in Montana like all the time, and my camping trip was snakes. Like, I am hunting snakes. And then my dad would go fishing and whatnot, but like that's what I love to do. So, I don't know where I got the fear of spiders and the love of snakes. You want to say it's Australia, but you'd think I'd be scared of both. So I'm not sure, but yes, no, it's no joke. Like, and I need to go back to Australia. Like, that's kind of on my bucket list now too, because I, don't have a ton of memories. I've seen a lot of home movies and stuff, and I think I've created those kinds of memories, but I would love to go back. That's like top of the list. We were even speaking about it today, or not today, like recently, about we need to start saving for a trip in a couple of years to go to Australia and see where I grew up.
Oh, fun. Yeah, that will be awesome. But you are in a good state for both snakes and spiders, because back home in Scottsdale, there was this restaurant. I think it was in Cave Creek, maybe. Maybe it was Bustler's Roost over at whatever hotel that is. But they had the opportunity to like pet and hold a tarantula. So of course, me being young, I'm like, all right, put it on my hand. And it's just this giant spider. And then there's also just in Arizona, a lot of rattlesnakes. So have you had any, I know you guys live in somewhere that's right off the freeway, not really near a mountain, but have you had any rattlesnake encounters yet?
No, surprisingly not. I go hiking a lot, go to Sedona a ton, hiking around here. I've never ran into any. I've seen a couple tarantulas around. One I've never seen is a scorpion. I've seen scorpions, but not here.
I've been stung by two of them.
But they're supposedly everywhere. I've yet to see one. But like with the rattlesnakes, again, like Montana, I had a buddy who had a ranch, and we would work the ranch all summer. And part of our job, because they had horses and stuff, was like kill all the rattlesnakes. So we definitely had a lot of experience with rattlesnakes. I didn't really enjoy that part so much. I'm not a killer.
They're scary.
What?
Like, they aren't nice.
Well, it's not so much being scared. It's more like just like killing a creature. I'm not very good at.
I used to call
it was disheartening, but like, you know, at the same time, it was our safety. It was, you know, the livestock safety, because, you know, we'd be out, whether it was riding motorcycles or just in the pond, in the creek, working, putting up fencing. Like, you know, you could stumble over one anytime in the long brush, and they could get a horse anytime. So we did have to, like, you know, you have to watch out for those things too. But so yeah, like a lot of experience now with snakes, but luckily didn't have to deal with spiders, because again, not good at that.
Well, cross your fingers that you still don't have any scorpion experiences, because I got stung by one on my parents' driveway. Another was in my shower, and then I lost it by the time I brought a shoe back to like go kill it. And then I was stung by one in my bed, and I'm allergic to them. And I think a lot of people are. So like, you have to pound a lot of Benadryl. But yeah, fingers crossed. If you do see one though, hold a shoe on it after you kill it, because it could have babies on its back, and those are very poisonous. So you have to like hold the shoe on it for a little bit. So there you go.
Scream even more. And like, I'd seen this, and it might have been a documentary like related to Australia or what, I don't remember what it was, but like, I usually wear sandals, but like anytime I have a shoe that's been outside or something, like I check the inside of my shoe before I put it on.
That's smart.
There's like a spider or like scorpions that crawl inside your shoe. I heard that's like a common thing if you're like at pools or stuff like that. So I've been trying to keep myself safe.
There you go. All right. So I was going to chat a little bit about your college days, but we're going to skip ahead because I know I've already used a lot of your time, but to playing in Sweden, which you mentioned. I know you said it was cold and dark and you were ready for a change, but how awesome was it to go from college to playing in a different country?
It was a grind. First, it took me actually 3 years out of college before I signed my first full-time like pro contract. I graduated in 11, and then I played in the PDL, like PDL Pro. Our team was a pro team. I think we're the only pro team in the PDL, Kitsap Pumas, and which is now USL League 2.
Okay.
For everyone who's didn't know about the PDL so long ago. But yeah, I played for the Kitsap Pumas, and we were on like little contracts. We got paid, you know, but it was only like 4 or 5 months out of the year. So I played for them for 2 years and won a national championship, but I had to have like part-time jobs. You know, I worked at GNC. I was the goalkeeper coach at my university. I was the manager of like the gym on the university. So just different ways to supplement income and train. And then I played for the Sounder under 23s in 2013. And that was a huge year for me because I was training with the first team basically the whole year, played games with the under 23s. And then that next year was like finally in 2014, I got my first full-time pro contract in Sweden. So that was like, we were so far north. I was really close. I was like as close as you can get to the Arctic Circle without being in it. A couple hour, like 2-3 hour drive north. I was in northern Sweden in Luleå. And the county or like state that they reference is like Norrbotten, which is just like Northland. So we were up there. And so yeah, it was like so bitter. It was so nice. Like, and for an American who we're only playing at that time, college seasons were 2 or 3 months. PDL was, 4 or 5 months. And even at that point in time, the USL was only a 5 or 6 month long season. There was like, when I went to Sweden, I think there was like 10 teams in the USL. And the only one on the West Coast being Orange County. And they were Blues. They were Orange County Blues at that time. And then I think next closest was Oklahoma City. And then you had some, along the East Coast. So, and those seasons were incredibly short too. So like, unless you're in the MLS, it was really hard to get a full calendar year of soccer in. And that's where Sweden was like so important, and the level wasn't like super high. It was third tier, but to play every day for 10, 11 months, you know, they were January 1 to, I think we finished like mid-November.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So they play a full calendar year, training every day. Like that was the first time in my life that I had really experienced that. And, you know, style of football, very possession oriented. I really had to learn how to play with my feet. So like, that was such a huge year in terms of growth for me as a player. And then off the field too, to be thrust into an environment, you know, a different culture. I'm in Europe, you know, I'm 8 hours away from friends and family. Time difference, you know, obviously longer when you're actually traveling, but 8-hour time difference. And someone who grew up in Montana, you know, not really surrounded by a lot of diversity. And so to get out and even just going to college was so important, you know, going to Seattle and immersing myself again in like a totally different culture and diversity everywhere. It was a lot of learning. And then to go overseas and meet people from every different kind of ethnicity, country, whatever, religion, just some incredible experiences that I grew as a person, you know, to kind of leave the US and just learn different cultures, learn how different people are, you know, living, and how well Scandinavia does with recycling and energy and their food is everything. So that was massive. And to be able to travel was really cool. One of my favorite parts about being in Sweden was we'd get 2 weeks basically. Well, we'd get all of July off from games. Little munchkin just came and laid down. Hi, nannies.
Hi. Wait, can I hang on one sec? There's somebody that just joined that I'm gonna let in really quick. They wanted to say hi, so hang on.
They only want to say hi to Lenny.
Oh my God, Zach, fix your hair.
This is I'm
some self-respect.
Throw back.
He's been patiently waiting. This whole Sweden answer, Joey's been sitting there waiting.
And
oh my God,
even
Lenny's embarrassed for you.
We would never join the same Zoom call if we knew this was actually going to happen.
Just wanted to mess with you a little bit. Zach, do you want to be roommates next year?
Yeah, definitely. I got a spare room for you.
Well, since I have both of you on here.
Changed.
What were you going to say?
Oh, he asked if I could be one of your roommates, and I said I'd come home and everything would be changed and in different places.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Sure.
All right. Well, since both of
man. So many roommate pranks.
That will be an adventure. But when both of you guys walked into Reno, the night that you ended our season and ended the whole club as an organization, y'all asked me if I had my jersey, and I did not. So I thought you'd be proud.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
You're not representing Reno anymore.
No, now that we are in a club,
well, that's a bit of a low blow, Zach. Come on. Jeez.
That was tough.
Take it easy, Zach.
I tried to keep alive. I gave him a goal. What more could it?
I almost gave him a couple after that, but yeah, you did give him a chance.
I almost gave him another one when I.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Yeah, I mean, you did what you could. You did what you could.
I did what I could. Live, you know.
That first goal, I was like, Zach does not normally give those up.
But then you.
No, that was.
Unless it's in training against me.
Yeah, pretty much.
When I tell him to stay on his line.
I was like, give it to Joey, and then I have to make a save. Never coming off my line. Joey likes your post all the time.
I'll always try to shoot on Zach instead of crossing it, and then I always yell, stay on his line. When I score most of the time, obviously, yeah, but.
So maybe other vulgar language in there.
Yeah, maybe a little bit, yeah.
A little bit. Just a.
Are you at the Rio Paradiso?
Yep. Still in paradise. Hey, Joey, how?
Yeah.
About weather. I'm 70 degrees and sunny. How is Chicago right now?
It's like 64 degrees today.
No way. Oh, I'm missing out.
Oh yeah, it's like 30.
Oh, okay, I was about to be like.
It's like a comfortable 30 today.
I already touched on climate change, so I wouldn't be surprised if Chicago was 60.
I missed that part.
Yeah. That's what we started with.
Oh man. Is the pool open yet, Zach?
No. Yeah, they said it was gonna be done like in June.
They said it'd be open in May. Yeah.
And we're still closed, still working on it. It's still pool weather here, so I believe I'll be there. That's why I chose to stay here. I've been waiting for this pool to open, so I had to be here this winter for when it does.
To see if it actually does.
Yeah.
Well, they announced today, Joey, that you're back. Zach, I know they announced it a little before. So how exciting is it? There's a good group of guys that are returning again. So I know for everybody that doesn't really know soccer, especially USL, there was kind of chaos for the USL Championship. Unfortunately, it ended with just not happening because of COVID, an outbreak before the match. But you guys are the Western Conference champions. What's your goal, and how are you going to use kind of the bitterness and saltiness of not being able? I think I have that shirt.
Champions.
But
Champions.
Hang on. Do I have it? I ordered something for y'all just because, like, I was kind of in mourning about us. Let me see what. But anyways, while I'm opening this, what's your goal for 2021? Like, how are you going to use not being able to play in a championship to motivate y'all for next season?
Well, hopefully the goal is to hopefully have a championship. So that'll be
and be in it.
Good.
And be in it.
You know, again, like we kind of always talk about Phoenix Rising, like you come here to win trophies. You come here to win games. We're making some signings. It's super pumped to have Veto back. This guy is just every clutch gene in his body for sure, and scores incredible goals for us. But, you know, we want to dominate the league, you know, as always, but it's going to be tough. I've heard there's some big signings, you know, going on throughout the West. You saw Weehan go to OC. You know, they're going to be a good team. I think New Mexico has signed a couple of big players. Sacramento signed some players. So it's going to be tough.
Yeah.
It's going to be really, really tough. But, you know, Joey knows Phoenix, like Courtney, you do too. Like, we're going to make our own big signings too. We're bringing back some, obviously, 2-time MVP. You know, some really, really good players, first-team players, Roofy. So we're going to be good, and I'm sure we're going to make some more, some big marquee signings. So, you know.
No, totally. I think, you know, I think, Zach, you've been here, what, 1 or 2 more years than I have, but, you know, this is going to be my 3rd year here, and I win a Sports Shield. We want to win a Western Conference, but, you know, we really have our eyes set on winning that last championship.
There you go. And the shirt that I do have was this one.
Hey.
There we go. That's a good shirt.
I shouldn't have bought it, but I mean, it could have been Reno branded, but Zach made sure it was not. So I have to ask, with the PKs, I mean, y'all did them twice in the playoffs, which is insane. I mean, the minutes y'all had to put in is just crazy. So I guess for both of you, Zach, as the goalkeeper, the one everybody's looking at, how stressful was it? And then for both of y'all to have those wins, I mean, does it bring even more energy knowing that y'all won such a high pressure situation?
I think so. In terms of energy, like, you know, I felt like going into Reno, you know what, Reno smacked LA. Like
LA in the first round, yeah.
5
like
something.
4-1, yeah.
And like, that's cool. And, you know, Joey was a part of it last year too. And maybe it's different as a goalkeeper compared to a field player. Like, you know, I guess it's cool when you score like 2 or 3 goals a game. But like, we win so many games, 4-0, 5-1, whatever it is, scoring mass amount of goals. And those are like fun. But when you win 1-0, fighting for every inch of that game and every minute and every second, or you go to extra time and you win in penalties, like, that feels so much better. Like, to earn it, to really fight, to know you put in everything to earn that win is so big. And that's what I felt like going into Reno. Is just like, they don't know what it's like to battle through a game and to win these, you know, a must-win game where any, you know, one little slip, one little mistake can be the end. Mm-hmm. And when you didn't go through that, like, I think that's more momentum than winning 4-0.
Yeah, no, I think a big portion of that is a mentality thing, and that's just what Phoenix is about. You know, a winning mentality, no matter what the situation is. You know, there have been so many times where we're down 2 goals, 3, like, and we come back and claw away and get a result and get a win. So I think that's just something that's ingrained in us, and that we really focus on throughout the season, because we know it comes down to the playoff games. They're never easy games to win. So getting those experiences throughout the year and having, you know, proven that we can come back and win games helped us a lot throughout the playoffs. And then I think, you know, when you come back and you score a couple goals at the end to tie up a game and you go to PKs, you know, you got a lot of momentum, and that's really important. And then it comes down to just execution. So yeah, Zac did pretty well for us in goal there.
Well, and I mean, it was easy too for me. Like, one, goalkeeper is like, you're not really supposed to make saves, so the pressure isn't on you. But when you come down, like you were saying me, but it's easy for me when our strikers stepped up and scored every goal. You know, they didn't miss a single penalty. Goalkeepers weren't even getting near the ball. You know, that's, even though maybe you're not making a save as a goalkeeper, but if you're diving the right way or you're getting touches on 1 or 2 pens, that puts so much more pressure on the shooters, being like, oh, like he's going the right way. He's getting there. He's close. Where if you're not even getting close, they're going away, whatever. I feel like the players had so much confidence in their ability to put it away that it took all the pressure off me. It was like, I make 1 save and this is over. You know, which, you know, I made 2 again, well, kind of against El Paso, but like, again, all we needed was these guys keep putting it away, and we had different shooters step up both times, and they were all so calm that, again, like it takes a lot of pressure off me too.
It was fun watching y'all's Instagram stories, because the celebration y'all had after you won the West, Phoenix did something kind of cool. So mainly for everybody that's in Scottsdale, Phoenix area, if you want to go out normally in a non-COVID world, you go to Old Town to celebrate. I mean, it's just where everybody goes every weekend. But you guys, because of COVID and the huge USL restrictions, obviously couldn't. So tell everyone what Phoenix did for you guys so you could celebrate a little bit.
It was sweet. They kind of brought Old Town to us.
Well, first we had the locker room celebration, which was unbelievable.
Well, first we had to sing Rocket Man, because Rocket Man is our song after wins. So we had a very loud, boisterous singing of Rocket Man. I think Elton John would be proud of it. You know, I think he might be coming on board next year with Diplo. I don't know. We put us on the map that much with Rocket Man.
Yeah, I DM'd him on Instagram. See, you know.
And then it was sweet, because then they set up tables and food and a bar, and we got to party on the field. You know, again, the perks of being in Phoenix in November or end of October. It was gorgeous out. It was probably 75, 80 degrees at night, and one of our owners' son's a DJ, and they brought out the DJ booth and the speakers, and we had a fun party on the field.
You know, it would have been amazing to celebrate with our fans, obviously. But you know, based on the circumstances, you can't do that. So I think, you know, this was pretty sweet.
Awesome.
That's fun. I think I said something too, Joe. You weren't here, but I was like, you know, we known we weren't playing a final or whatever, we might have celebrated the Western Conference final a little bit more, you know. And like, I was like, yeah, it was great to celebrate with our fans, but they weren't, you know, our stadium wasn't full. And then I said, like, you know what? I think we actually celebrated with more of our fans in Orange County in that Western Conference final win in 2018 than this last year, because we had like 2,500 fans. Our owners put up like 6 or 7 Greyhound buses, charter buses to Orange County for any fan who wanted to go, like totally paid for. So they bussed there and back on the day. Like we for sure had more fans in the stadium in Orange County than Orange County did. And I think there was like 2,500. So we got to celebrate with more fans away, but it was still awesome. You know, they were still a part of it. So it was a blast.
I wasn't there for that, but I was very glad you guys beat them, because they're the ones that knocked us out of the playoffs that year with St. Louis.
Yeah.
So that was, you know, very nice of you guys. We appreciated it.
Welcome. We're just trying to get you here, trying to do the right things to get Joey Calicio.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. You know what? I knew that we were going to become good friends even before we were teammates, man. It's a nice little love-hate relationship, but yeah.
Where was it that y'all celebrated with the fans in the locker room? Because I still see those videos, and you have the supporters in there. I think the drums, like, it was crazy.
That was awesome. That's a good joke. That's a veto story.
That was what they call Wild Veto Night. So that's my nickname. My middle name is Vito, but for some reason, whenever anybody finds out that that's my middle name, they think it's hilarious. So everybody starts calling me Vito, which is fine. I don't mind it. But yeah, that was when we clinched the supporter shield at New Mexico in front of like 14,000 fans or something like that. Yeah. So I scored the last minute goal. That game was unbelievable. Oh, that was unbelievable. Yeah. So I came off the bench was able to get 2 goals, and we tied 2-2. And then, yeah, we were in the locker room. They had everything, walled off, so it was all protected. The fans came in, the owners were there, and that was that and the Western Conference, I think, were the 2 most fun nights.
Yeah, when you talk about like a never say die attitude, we're down 2-0. Joey comes on, scores 2 goals, hits a screamer, and what was it, extra time, or we're still in regular time? It might have been.
I think it was like the 90th minute or something like that. Yeah.
Right at the end of regular time to tie it up. Against a rival in New Mexico, who we built a pretty strong rivalry against. For him to come back and tie that up, just a little icing on the cake. It felt like a win for sure, and to celebrate with the fans was awesome. When half of them got kicked out for fighting with New Mexico fans too. So
yeah,
you guys had to take
a
bus
long bus
there
ride home after that celebration.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
To New Mexico.
How long is that?
6 hours, 6.5.
Well, 6.5. Yeah, 6.5. Yeah.
Oh, sure, that was super fun on the way back.
Funny, I drove through there on my way back to Chicago.
You drove to Chicago too?
I drove to Chicago. Yeah, I drove. Yeah, I drove from Arizona to Chicago this offseason after the season. Mexico or Albuquerque was the first portion of that drive. But yeah, that was 26 hours, I think, something like that.
Man. All right, so I have to ask both of you guys, since you've played Reno a couple times. Obviously, all of our players are now looking for other clubs, but if there was anyone from Reno that you could pick to be on Phoenix, who would you pick? Calling you both out.
Langsdorff.
Well, I played with Corey before, and he's Langsdorff. Yeah,
Me and Langsdorff had some quality back and forth in our couple of games. But to be honest, that was kind of a joke. This dude battles so hard. I mean that no disrespect. We had some quality banter back and forth. I think he'd appreciate that answer. But to be honest, I would love to play with Corey Herzog.
Taking my pick. That's my boy. I think Corey's a good attitude, good guy. Everybody likes him. He's funny. He's definitely annoying to play against, and I can say that because I'm his friend. But yeah, when he's on your team, he's a great guy to have.
I can imagine. He is very annoying to play against. He will get under your skin.
Oh, he knows it too. Yeah.
I think he's hilarious.
He loves it.
It's so much fun in those games, with the banter with those two, with Langsdorff and Corey, and just talking back and forth. And I can imagine, he's so funny. I would actually like to play with Herzog.
He is one of the funniest dudes to have on your team. We had some funny times in St. Louis for sure.
And now he's kind of taken on the role of team dad, or at least last year. He was always one of the first ones there with the clipboard. Okay, guys, did you take your temperature? Did you fill out your survey? He was the best. And he actually just had his son a couple weeks ago, I think. So I know it's going to be a little Herzog playing. But yeah, Corey's awesome. I've had guys on Reno tell me that they would hate to play against him. But with both of y'all on here, I want to know, Zach, I know you're spending the off season in Arizona, Joey in Chicago, but do you have any plans that, I know COVID travel sucks, it's really hard to do the typical off season vacations, but what's in store for the both of you the next few months?
Go for it, Vito.
Yeah, not much for me, honestly. I'm just back here with, I got some friends back here I can see, and my family, obviously, so that's nice. So I'm planning on sticking around here, enjoying the nice cold weather here.
Mm-hmm. I like had some plans. I was supposed to go home to Montana, and that kind of fell apart. And we were with the family. We're supposed to go to Jamaica for Christmas because none of us, me and my sister, don't like to be in the cold anymore in Montana. My parents don't even either. So we were supposed to go to Jamaica, but we canceled it just because of COVID, and it's just not smart. Like, now's not the time to be traveling, and we need to be keeping safe for ourselves and for everybody else too. So just kind of relaxing and taking it easy. And, if something happens with the vaccine and we're getting going in January, I'm going to try to travel. But for now, just trying to lay low and stay healthy. And that's what's going to require from people to get past this. Everyone just wants to go out and just get back to normal without realizing everything they're doing is just prolonging the situation. So, I've been an advocate for masking and being smart and staying in. And so I got to live that too.
Have you seen Yellowstone yet?
I'm like almost done with the second season.
Dude,
it is
one of the best shows I've seen in a long, long time.
So
unbelievable.
Good. And that's only like 30 minutes. Well, Paradise Valley is only like 30 minutes from my house.
Oh, really?
Through the canyon. What?
Yeah. Is it?
Yeah. So, and I've like built, it's gorgeous. Like I built, I used to work construction and have built a house right in Paradise Valley, like incredible house, like on the Yellowstone River that runs right through there. And it's so cool. Like all of that out there. I mean, I don't know how much gangster like ranchers are around. But it's beautiful. It's been such a good show to watch. And whenever they're in Bozeman, I'm like, and that's where I grew up. So like, I'm always looking at the downtown and the shops that they have and just like looking to recognize things.
Yeah.
So it's been so good.
Yeah. No, it's awesome. Made my parents want to move to Montana.
I can imagine. I make anybody want to move to Montana. And now, hey, it's coming in hot because now there's another new series called Big Sky, which is based in Montana. Like Big Sky is, well, one, we are the Big Sky state.
Of course. Everybody knew that.
The sky is so big. But also the ski.
I thought you guys were the Big Apple.
Yeah, exactly. Just like the exact same.
Isn't it very similar?
They have a Big Apple. We have a Big Sky.
Like a similar population density, right?
Yeah, it's very close. There's more people living on one block in New York than all of Montana.
Yeah.
But yeah, now though I'm telling you, Yellowstone is sadly, I don't think it's a good thing exactly, but putting Montana on the map. Now they got another show, Big Sky, and now even more people are going to try out there.
Yeah, for sure.
So, but Yellowstone, if you haven't watched it, is so good.
We need to get a USL team out there.
A USL team in Montana. He was just telling me before you got on how nobody plays soccer there.
It's true. This is still this.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah,
it's getting better. To see the amount of kids playing and stuff there now is awesome, and the clubs are getting some better coaches in and stuff. So it's definitely growing. I don't think you get the same type of abuse that we used to get because political correctness matters now. Which
that's true. Yeah.
I was in high school. Again, 2004 to 2007, there was no PC culture. So it was tough.
Yeah, some of my coaches would not do well now.
Well, is there anything else y'all are binge watching on Netflix? Because I need all the ideas.
Yes. I need something too.
And well, it's not so much Netflix anymore. And I've also have a second career path too after soccer. Survivor. I am 100% gonna try out for Survivor. Apply to be on Survivor. I grew up watching it like with my family. I remember the first season when it came out, like especially the second season was Australia, and so that was like our family's thing would be like watching Survivor. But we just like randomly turned. There's two seasons on Netflix, and we just like decided to just turn it on one day. We were like super bored a couple weeks ago, and we crushed both those seasons, and now all the seasons are on CBS. And so I'm watching Survivor. I'm doing my homework. I'm learning how to play the game.
I could see you doing all right. Yeah. And you found that random campsite in Sedona. So
yeah, I mean, I grew up in Montana. I grew up camping.
Yeah.
I grew up in the outdoors.
you
Like,
can drive an RV.
I can drive. Driving. I don't know if they don't really give you RVs on Survivor or a stove, or we just make pasta. But that's
Exactly. Just pasta and cereal.
Mm-hmm. and
I started.
we cook a mean broth over a fire for 3 days straight.
I've been watching literally 3 days straight. Yeah, not even a joke. Yeah, I think Zach was driving and he was gonna kill all of us in the back as we just kept trying to annoy him.
Oh, that was a fun trip. That was like top trip. That was.
How far to the Grand Canyon, Zach?
It's a long.
What have I been watching? I've been watching Fargo. Have you seen that?
Mm-mm.
I've tried a couple episodes. I didn't get into it.
Pretty, yeah. It's not bad. It's like kind of like darker than I thought. Like it's kind of like messed up at times, but it's decent. Yeah. I don't have many good options right now.
These new seasons I've seen like commercials. They have some huge like big time actors in it now as well.
Which one? Fargo? Really?
There's like
I'm still on the second. I think there's like three or four. I think. Yeah, I'm still on the second.
Let's see. What else are we watching?
Have you watched You? I know it's like older now, but
like Last Chance You?
No, like
the show You, Zach. Jeez, read a book.
Oh, You. Oh yeah, we did watch You.
I think I saw the first one. That was it.
Yeah, it's creepy.
Yeah, definitely.
I just thought I was like, the first one I like got through, and the second one I started, I was like, I'm not watching this anymore. Like, this is too much. Everybody told me, he's like, oh, you gotta watch.
I was like, this is pretty intense. Yeah.
Second season was actually like really good.
The problem is so many girls are like obsessed with him now. And it's like, that's not the type of guy that you want to be in love with. Some like creepy stalker guy that kills everyone.
Yeah, that's the weird thing. I've seen like a bunch of like Instagram stories, stuff like that. Like, and I'm like, doesn't seem like the best guy.
Some like Stockholm syndrome for sure.
Yeah, stay away from girls that post that because that's sketchy.
Like you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I know this has been way longer than I told you it was going to be, Zach. But Joey, we appreciate you hopping on with us. Zach, I thought you would enjoy having a special guest.
On longer if Vito wasn't on, so you kind of screwed up there. But,
I wish I could say I missed your face, but I haven't.
Yeah, I was in a great mood until Joey came on.
Yeah, just ruined my day. Thanks, Courtney.
Anytime, that's what I'm here for. But also, one last thing. Can you tell everyone where they can follow you guys on social media?
Yeah, you can follow me. I think both are Twitter and Instagram are the same at zlubin28. You can follow Lenny as well. Lenny the Pit.
Oh,
she's in a diaper.
Wouldn't want to follow her.
She's going through heat, a little diaper baby, but yeah, she's Lenny the Pit on Instagram.
Oh man,
shameless plug.
I might have to follow her. I don't think I am yet.
Wow.
What am I? I think my Twitter is jcaley10, and then my Insta is jcaley15.
Did you just look it up as soon as I asked this question?
I had to check because I didn't remember honestly.
What number are you wearing this year?
Try to switch to like 28 maybe. I might try to switch to 28. Yeah.
I mean, I don't
you
know
want
why
to trade? I'll go 28.
Terrible.
You go 21.
Yeah, I guess I'm closer to 21 than 28. Huh. Old man.
Yeah.
What happens though if people want to switch numbers? Like, has there ever been somebody that you've made a trade with? Like, hey, I really want your number. I'll give you this for it.
I know that happens, and like sometimes I've heard of people having to buy numbers off of other people. For us, it's pretty easy. It's basically if you're a returner, you have your first choice basically, like or whatever number you were. You obviously can't steal another returner's number, but if I wouldn't give up my number. It'd have to take a lot, probably. Joey, have you ever had to try and trade for a number or have a number?
I don't know. I mean, people could pay me for number 21. I'm okay with that. Yeah. I like the number, but I don't get, too attached, unfortunately. If somebody wanted to give me $20 for number 21, I'd be like, all right, sure.
Yeah, it's like tougher. Like I know JJ tried to be like 11, and the club was like, no,
yeah,
because that's
number. And that was Drogba's number.
Yeah, 11 on the team again. I know like Clint Dempsey had to buy number 2 off of DeAndre Yedlin at Sounders, basically. But I mean, John was like, yeah, you can have it for free. But Clint was like, I know it is my number, and I'll be whatever.
Yeah.
But here's
exactly.
Here's a little compensation.
Hard to say no to Dempsey. Yeah.
Buying, but.
Dang. All right. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing both of you play. Hopefully it gets to a point where fans can come, and every time I'm home, I'll be there cheering for y'all.
Thanks,
Courtney. Thanks for having us on. Yeah.
Joey, congrats on getting the new deal done. I'm pumped to have you back.